Imagine this. You walk into a room, you are not the loudest, not the flashiest, but you feel grounded and calm. Sure of yourself, not because you think you are better than anyone else, but because you are rooted in who you are. What if I told you that confidence isn't some magical trait that only a few lucky people are born with? It's actually something you build, step by step, moment by moment, decisions by decisions. Today, we are going deep. I'm going to walk you through what confidence really is, how to grow it from within, and how to hold on to it, especially when life tries to shake it loose. Hey, beautiful souls, and welcome back to It's Always About Me podcast. I'm your host, Ishpreet Kaur, and today's episode is one that so many of us need. Whether you are someone who constantly doubt yourself or you are just looking to strengthen that quiet power inside, we are talking about confidence. Not the performative kind, not the fake it till you make it kind, although that sometimes helps too. We are talking about the real stuff, the kind of confidence that doesn't shout but radiates from within. If you have ever felt invisible, anxious, like you are just not enough, I feed you. But confidence is not a destination, it's a relationship with yourself. And we are going to nurture that today. Chapter 1, What Confidence Really Is. Let's start at the root. What is confidence? It's not arrogance, it's not walking into a room and thinking you are better than everyone. It's walking in and not needing to compare yourself to anyone at all. Real confidence is quiet, it's stable, it says, I might not have all the answers, but I trust myself to figure it out. I'm allowed to take up space. I'm enough as I am. There's some common myth that hold us back, like you have to be outgoing to be confident. Nope. Some of the most confident people are introverts. Confident people don't feel fear. So long again, confidence is doing the thing despite fear. Confidence means always knowing what to say. Not true. It's about being okay even when you are not sure. I still remember I was a part of the choir in my school and I really got the chance to sing holding a mic. So one day, the girl who used to take on the mic was absent and our music teacher asked me to sing all the prayers. I was terrified. My heart was pounding, but I did it anyway. And something shifted. I didn't magically become fearless, but I realized, hey, I can do hard things. And to this date, when I try something new, I get nervous. That's confidence. It's showing up messy, nervous, unsure, but still showing up. Chapter 2, The Inner Foundation, Self Awareness and Acceptance. Confidence begins inside, way before it shows up outside. Step 1, Self Awareness. It all starts with truly knowing yourself, not just your name or your job, but your core values. Those guiding principles that shape your decisions and your sense of purpose. What do you stand for? What lights you up with energy and passion? And just as importantly, what drains you or leaves you feel depleted? When you are clear on these things, you stop living your life trying to fit into other people's expectations or chasing their approvals. Instead, you begin to live in alignment with your authentic self. This alignment is the soil where confidence grows naturally. Think about it. When you act according to your values, even if it's uncomfortable or unpopular, you feel a quiet strength inside. That strength doesn't depend on applause or validation. It's a deep knowing that you are honoring who you truly are. But self awareness isn't just about knowing about about your strengths. It's also about recognizing your vulnerabilities and accepting them without judgment. Confidence isn't about being perfect or having no flaws, it's about embracing your whole self, including the parts you might want to hide. This acceptance frees you from the exhausting cycle of self criticism and comparison. This acceptance frees you from the exhausting cycle of self criticism and comparison. It allows you to show up fully without the need to wear a mask or pretend to be someone else. Now, close your eyes unless you are driving. Take a deep breath. Think back to a moment when you felt proud of yourself. Maybe it was something big, or maybe it was you simply standing up for yourself. What were you doing? How did it feel in your body? That pride, that warmth, that's your inner confidence speaking. Remember it. Self acceptance is the game changer. You can't build confidence if you are constantly at war with yourself. When your inner dialogue is harsh or unforgiving, it drains your energy and chips away at your self worth. Real confidence comes from peace with yourself, not perfection. Here's a trick I use. When I catch myself being harsh or critical, I pause and ask, would I say this to my best friend? And this is no, stop, right there. Then I change the tone, I soften it, and I reframe it. Imagine talking to your younger self, the version of you who felt scared, insecure, or unsure. What would you say to comfort and encourage them? Often we are much gentler with that younger version than we are with ourselves. Try writing a letter to your younger self full of kindness and reassurance. Remember, self acceptance doesn't mean ignoring areas where you want to improve. It means embracing yourself as you are right now while gently committing to growth. It's the foundation that makes confidence sustainable because it's rooted in your fear. Chapter 3, Mastering Your Inner Dialogue. Your thoughts shape your reality. If your inner voice constantly tells you that you are not enough, eventually you will believe it. But the amazing part, you can change the narrative. Give your inner voice a name. It will help you to detach from the inner voice. When my inner voice starts spiraling, I go, oh, hey Adya, thanks for your concern, but I got this. These are simple phrases you can say to yourself that remind you who you really are, especially on tough days. Try saying things like, I'm doing my best, and that's enough for today. It's okay to not have all the answers right now. I'm learning to trust myself more every day. I'm allowed to take up space and speak my truth. Progress is more important than perfection. Here's a little tip. Record yourself saying these out loud. Play them back when you are walking, doing chores, or even when you are having a moment in the shower. Because, yeah, we have all been there. Hearing your own voice telling you these truths can be surprisingly powerful. Here is a little nighttime ritual you can try. Before you go to bed, write down one thing you did well that day. It doesn't have to be huge. Maybe it's I got out of bed or I stayed off Instagram for a few hours. Celebrate those wins, they add up. Now let's do something together. Pause the episode for just a second and say this out loud with me. I am worthy, even on my messy days. Say it again, this time a little louder. Feels pretty good, right? That's your confidence starting to show up. Chapter 4, Building Your Confidence Bank. Here's a truth bomb. Confidence is built through action. You can read every book, listen to every podcast, even this one, But until you do the thing, it won't stick. Start small. Compliment a stranger. Wear that outfit you have been saving. Post that video, send that message. Take that step. Every time you do, you are making a deposit into your confidence bank. Confidence needs to be in a practice every day. It's not a one time thing. If you do one thing and it will you have that confidence in you. No, you have to practice it. You have to do every day something new that is out of your comfort zone. Every time you do, you are making a deposit into your confidence bank. Create a special journal to record these wins or have a jar and make slips and write it down. What did you achieve today and you felt good about it? What was one micro goal that you set today and you achieved that? I used to think I need to feel confident before taking action, but I learned that action creates confidence. I started with small things, asking questions in class, posting online, posting podcast online took confidence too. Saying no when I wanted to say no, each time I proved to myself I can trust me. This is one thing that I'm asking you to do. Set one micro goal this week. Something that's outside your comfort zone, but not in panic zone. Write it down, commit to it, celebrate it. You will feel good, I assure you that. Chapter 5, Embracing Failure and Redefining Embarrassment. Okay, let's talk about the dreaded word, F word, failure. Most of us fear it not because we don't believe in ourselves, but because we are afraid of looking stupid, of being judged, of being embarrassed. That fear can freeze us, stop us from trying, and keep us stuck in a loop of what ifs. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's actually a crucial part of the journey. Every no, every cringeworthy movement, every misstep is data. Valuable information that teaches you what doesn't work so you can figure out what does. Think of it like a scientist running experiments. Each failed experiment brings you closer to the breakthrough, brings you closer to your results. When you shift your mindset to see failure as a feedback instead of a verdict on your worth, it becomes less scary and more empowering. Here's a powerful way to take the sting out of embarrassment. Do something that mildly embarrasses you on purpose. Sing loudly while walking down the street. Wear something quirky that makes you smile. Dance like nobody's watching, even if someone is. The more you lean into discomfort, the less power it holds over you. This practice rewires your brain to tolerate vulnerability and builds resilience. Over time, you will find yourself less afraid of judgment and more willing to take risks. Laugh at yourself. Seriously. When you can find humor in your mistakes or awkward moments, you take away their ability to hurt you. Humor is like a shield that softens the blow of embarrassment and makes you more relatable to others. Chapter 6, Curating Your Confidence Ecosystem. You are not just a product of your thoughts, you are also a product of your environment. Clean your digital space and follow accounts that make you feel less than them. Follow creators and people who uplift, educate, and inspire you. Find your people. Confidence blooms in community. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, even when you forget how to believe in yourself. Your physical space, create a corner that reminds you of your worth. Add quotes, art, photos, affirmations, whatever lifts your spirit. When I started curating my environment intentionally, digitally and physically, I felt lighter, freer, more me. This week, what can you declutter mentally, emotionally, or physically that's been draining your confidence? Chapter 7: Self Compassion and Detachment, the ultimate confidence tools. Let's bring it all together. Confidence isn't about never doubting yourself, it's about moving forward even when you do. Catch the negative thought, pause, breathe, reframe it with love. Detach from external opinions. Most people are thinking about themselves anyway. Seriously, your opinion of you is what truly matters. Can I tell you a secret of mine? When I start to think what other people will think about me, I remind myself, why is their opinion matters to me? What if they think about me less than them? So what? Their opinion is their opinion, not my opinion. My opinion is my opinion, and what I think of myself is matters. Not other people think about me doesn't matter to me because that's their opinion, not my opinion. I know there are so many opinions right now, but okay, let's reframe it. My opinion is the only opinion which matters to me. Other people's opinion doesn't matter because it's their opinion. The only opinion I will listen to is mine, not somebody else's, because they don't matter. So remember, when you start to think what other people will think about me, just remember your opinion is the only opinion that matters. Not anybody else's opinion matters to you. Okay. So next step is letter to future you. Write a letter to the version of you who's confident, calm, thriving. Tell them what you are doing today to get closer. And when you need a reminder, read it. Imagine this: you, 6 months from now, walking confidently in a space that used to intimidate you. How do you walk? What are you wearing? What do you believe about yourself? Hold on that onto that version of you. They already exist. Okay, now let's wrap it up. Confidence isn't a gift, it's a practice. It's built through awareness, action, and compassion. You're allowed to take up space, you're allowed to grow, fall, and try again. So, here's your challenge: pick one thing from today's episode and do it this week. Then come tell me how it boosts. I'm cheering you on. If this episode touched you, please share it with someone who needs a confidence boost today. Subscribe or follow so you never miss these honest, soul filling conversation. Until next time, remember, you are worthy, you are growing, you're already enough.